Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am going to be trying out the Barbie BYS collection. I am so excited, honestly. When the brand reached out to me asking me if I wanted to review it, I was just like, oh my god, this is so cute. Please send them to me. I really want to try it. I really want to make a look. And this palette. Like, if you guys have been following me for quite some time, you guys know I like to do a lot of looks using a lot of pinks and purples and blues. So this is definitely up my alley. Like, it's just so pretty. Love the colors. So again, this is a face palette, not just an eyeshadow palette, so you can definitely use some of these things on your face as well. As you guys can see, there is a good combination of glitter, shimmer and mattes, and I have to say there's a decent amount of mattes here, and I do really like the color depth here. If you guys know me, I really like having a lot of mattes to play around with. Just with my eye shape, I do feel like I do need a lot of definition on the outer corner just to kind of like really give me that deep crease look. That's just how I like to do my makeup, and with this particular palette and with these colors, I can definitely see myself being able to use these to do that. And we have a lot of shimmer shades to choose from and these gorgeous glitters. Now some of these do look like they are like the gluey type glitters. I will try them out later. I haven't actually swatched them. Like, I've just been literally looking at this palette and it's so pretty. I've also seen other people play around with this palette already on Instagram, and the looks that they're coming up with, so pretty. Alright, so I think we're going to make a start. So I have only got like my skincare at the moment. I'm going to start off by priming the eyelids. I'm just going to grab this one from BYS Cosmetics, just a plain eyeshadow primer. Oh yeah, and sometimes I do get questions about whether I'm wearing contact lenses. I usually am wearing contact lenses, like coloured contact lenses, because I'm blind as a bat. Today I'm wearing the URS Arctic Grey contact lenses. I have a discount code and everything down in the description box down below if you guys are interested. Okay, here we go. I'm so excited. Honestly, when I first saw this palette, I was like, my eyes gravitated towards the bright colours, but then I also saw these like brown shades as well. I feel like this is such a nice little combination as well, so you can definitely play around with the color and neutral looks down here, or you can definitely just go for the neutral look as well. Also, I have to say, these shades down here scream like New Year festive look. Like, that's just an idea if you guys are thinking of getting this palette. Okay, so I am thinking of going for a halo look today, so I feel like I want to do a little bit of a transition shade first to work with. I am probably just going to grab this shade over here. This one looks like a dusty, like a pale dusty rose. I'm just going to put this like in the crease area. Oh, this is a really nice pigmented color. It does appear a little bit chalky at first when you apply it, but the more I build on it, it's starting to look less chalky. But again, this is like the first color anyway. I'm going to be adding other colors. Next, I'm going to grab a relatively flat brush. This one is a precision blender brush from Quartz Beauty. So anything sort of like flat, because I want to like pack the color on the sides. You're just grabbing this brush, and I think I want to go for the dark matte purple in the corner. It's coming off really nice. It kind of reminds me of like a pressed pigment. I don't know if these are actually pressed pigments. Ooh, that is applying nicely. It's very buttery. So at the moment I'm really just doing patting motions, no blending. So far application is pretty good. Definitely coming up really nicely on the skin. It's quite vibrant. I wouldn't say it's the most pigmented purple eyeshadow I've ever tried out, but it is certainly doing the job. I do feel like it is quite buildable. So just gonna use that brush that I used earlier to lay down that light purple, well, light pink, sorry, and just use that to lightly blend the edges a bit. I feel like that has taken a bit of that purple away, so I'm just going to pack on a tiny bit more. Okay, now that I've blended the purple a little bit, I do feel like it's not as pigmented as when I first just sort of like applied it. I am going to go ahead and grab this shimmery purple shade. This is actually not shimmer, it's like actual chunks of glitter. It looks so pretty. Actually, let me... Oh, that is pretty. Yeah, it almost feels like a foiled eyeshadow. Yeah, like almost foiled glitter eyeshadow. It's so pretty. I don't know if you guys can even see that from that distance, but it's so pretty. So I'm going to try and use the brush, see if it applies as well. It's quite buttery. Like, as soon as I sort of like add a little bit of pressure in there, I can definitely see a little bit of denting into the shadow itself. Not that that's a problem. Thought I would just comment on that. And let's just pack this on top of that purple. Actually, I feel like I didn't even really need to put that matte purple down as a base. This is certainly quite pigmented and would be able to do this on its own. Whoa, this purple eyeshadow. Stunning. Okay, next I'm going to grab the Glamour Shadow and I'm going to... Let me just try and see how this applies. Okay. Alright. This sort of reminds me of Stilla's like liquid eyeshadows. Quite similar. Doesn't have a scent though, but yeah. I am going to try and just use this like directly onto the eyelid and then maybe use a small detailing brush to sort of like blend it into like a nice halo, but we'll see. I might be able to just do that with this, otherwise yeah, small brush it is, if I can find a clean one. I am using the shade Fearless. Alright, that shade's gonna work with this. Okay, so that applicator works on its own. It's very pigmented. Okay, I'm going to have to blend a little bit because I think that's a little bit ridiculous, like really harsh, but yeah, you get the idea of where this look is going. Okay, so I've had that liquid shadow on here for probably a minute now. I still feel a little bit tacky. So if you guys have like really like eyelids that crease quite easily, I'd say try and hold the position for a little bit or just use less. Obviously I packed on a lot just to try and achieve this sort of like halo look. Going back into that purple glitter because I really want to sort of like slim this down just to give me that halo look, if that makes sense. Also, I have to mention I don't really see a lot of fallout. Like there is a few chunks of glitter that have fallen, but not as bad, not as bad. Like I've tried out other glitter shadows in the past and sometimes they just literally fall, but this is fine. Okay, I'm really impressed. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my base makeup and then we're going to talk about that cheek palette. Alright, so I've got my base makeup on. I've got my foundation, concealer. I just love the fact that you have so many color options in this palette. It's so pretty. Okay, so like I said, I tend to go for like dusty rose shades, so that's what I'm going to be using today. As you guys can already probably tell, this eyeshadow look is definitely more on the dramatic side of things, so I kind of want to keep the rest of the face fairly tamed and really the focus on the eyes. Just in case it's super pigmented, I'm just going to do that, and yeah, it looks quite pigmented, so yeah. Light hand I think for this. I do love BYS's matte blushes. They just always come out right, you know what I mean? Like they don't look ashy, they don't look chalky. Chalky is probably the right word, not ashy. And they just blend nicely. Alright, so I'm just going to grab a large fluffy brush for the bronzer. Yeah. Definitely more of a bronzer for my complexion. And this is a matte product as well. Yeah, let's move on to the highlighter. So again, you've got two options. One's more like a refined shimmer. Really nice. I would say a really warm tone gold, almost rose gold, like slightly there, like slightly rose gold. And then that large one is more of your traditional true champagne sort of like shade. So I'm going to be using that because it's blinding. Ooh, just need a very subtle amount. Just need a very small amount for this to show. Again, this is one of those chunky glitter highlighters. If you have textural issues on the skin, you might want to probably just use this one instead, or just use this as a very or just use this with a very light hand. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the eyes. I am going to go for quite a dramatic look, like I said. So I'm just grabbing this eyeliner from Marc Jacobs. This is just like a really nice dark true black sort of like eyeliner. Going back into that palette, I am going to go ahead and grab the matte purple and use that to smudge and also blend this black eyeliner. Okay, that has blended out really nicely. Now we're going to move on to the eyebrows. Okay, so again, this one is in the shade brown, and when I first swatched it, I wasn't like super keen on it, to be honest. Oops, that just broke. yeah, wasn't super keen on it. It is definitely more of a cool tone brown. I'd say more on the dark brown side of things. Definitely not black. More taupe, I'd like to say. So again, this is one of those mechanical pencils. We've got a little spoolie at the end and then the mechanical pencil itself. So I'm just going to fill in my brows as normal. Okay, I take it back. I actually do like how this is applying. It's not again like the most pigmented sort of like eyebrow pencil, but because I do have naturally quite full brows, this actually works and just like filling in like the sparse areas. I do have to say it's also not the softest sort of like eyeliner or eyebrow pencil, I should say. It's a bit stiff, and in this instance it does work, but it is a little bit scratchy. That's just like all I'm going to say, but otherwise, you know, like application wise and the color actually works. I know I've just done a halo eye and I probably won't really need to put something in the inner corner, but I feel like the inner corner is quite naked, so I'm going to put something in there. Going back into the face palette, I'm going to go ahead and grab the large white sort of like highlighty shade and just pop it in there. I just feel like it is just super naked, and this is a fine shimmer. Okay, now we're going to move on to the eyeliner. I'm so excited about this. Okay, so this is the felt tip. It is quite thick, not like the Asian eyeliners that I was kind of expecting it was going to be, just because of the one day tattoo. I was kind of hoping the applicator was a lot thinner, but you know, it's workable, I feel. Let's see if it is actually though. Works really well, very pigmented. I didn't really have to go over it like a couple of times to get this amount of pigmentation. Really good. It's not the darkest black out there, like if that even makes sense. It's not the inkiest black, I should say, but it definitely, you know, it definitely covers the eyeshadow, works really well. Sorry, just need that to be a little bit longer to balance things out. Okay, now we're going to move on to the lips. Now, like I said, with the lipstick, I feel like Barbie Bold is just, I mean, I think it would work with this look, to be honest, but it's just really not my style at the moment, so I am not going to, whoops. I'm not going to use that. I'm instead going to go ahead and grab Good Vibes, which is definitely more my style. It's like this dark, like mauvey brown, I think, shade. So we'll see how this applies on my lips. I am going to apply a little bit of lip liner first though. Alright, lips have been lined. Now let's move on to the lipstick, and yeah. This is actually a nice combo with this lip liner. This is like a really nice brown lip option. Not gonna lie, I'm obsessed. Now we're gonna move on to the lip gloss. Again, this one is in Stand Out. It's got a very like synthetic fruity smell. Ooh. Like in the tube, it looks like it's got more of like a pinky flex, but on the lips, it's got sort of a slight blue flex to it. I don't even know if that's going to show up on camera, but it does have a slight blue flex, which is really interesting. Really nice. Okay, so I'm just going to hop off camera, pop on some lashes, a setting spray, and then we're going to move on to the first impressions. Okay, so there you guys go. That is the final look, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed with how this look has come together. Not happy about my hair. I feel like I just don't have enough volume just here. But anyway, we're going to talk about the product. Okay, talking about the palette itself, I am just obsessed. Like the whole color scheme and stuff is just so pretty. I also really like the glitter shades. They're just so pigmented. That liquid glitter shadow, so pigmented. I was just really surprised. So if you guys are fans of the Stila, I don't know how to pronounce it, liquid eyeshadows, definitely check these ones out. These are really good alternatives, and I feel like you get a lot more product in this, so yeah, definitely check that one out. Okay, let's move on to the cheek palette. I am just really impressed with the pigmentation of the blush. BYS blushes, really good value for money, really pigmented, as you guys can see. Very small amount of product really shows up on my skin. The bronzer is a really nice bronzer, I have to say it is a nice sheer type bronzer. It's like sheer buildable bronzer, which is what you want in a bronzer. You don't want something that's like too pigmented in case, you know, you go a little bit heavy-handed and then you kind of like ruin your whole makeup. So I really like that formula. The two highlighters, again, a very fine shimmer highlighter, really nice like when I swatched it. And then obviously the bigger pan is more of a chunky glitter highlighter. I actually don't really mind it. It's really nice and just like bright in your face. Again, if you guys have textural issues, large pores, you might want to avoid that or just use a very light dusting of it. But yeah, it's really nice, really nice. Okay, moving on to the eyebrow pencil. Again, really surprised. I like I said, when I first swatched it, I wasn't really impressed by it. I wasn't really like, oh wow, this isn't gonna work. But now that I actually have it on my eyebrows, oof, here, it actually works really well, and it actually complements my hair, which I wasn't really expecting it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit too dark, but it works out really well. In terms of the liquid liner, again, I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't like a really fine tip, but that was just like my expectations, obviously, because I thought, you know, I saw the One Day Tattoo, I kind of instantly thought of the liquid liner from Asia, and I thought it was going to be like a very similar fine tip, but it's not. But you can still definitely create a really nice thin line if you wanted to. It's definitely not the darkest pigmented black sort of like liquid liner out there, but it definitely does the job. In terms of the lipstick, love that color, really, really pigmented. I love BYS's matte lipsticks. They're just so nice and creamy and also really pigmented. Love the design. In terms of the lip gloss, I feel like it's a very similar formula to their other lip glosses, which is a very nice and thick sort of like gloss, but without that tacky, sticky feel. Like I do have quite a lengthy fringe and I don't feel like my fringe has been like getting caught in my lips or anything like that. So I'm pretty happy with that, except for my lashes, just because my lashes are like really long. Yeah, but overall, I'm really happy, really impressed with this collection. So many really nice products in this collection. I definitely do recommend you guys check this out if you guys can. If you guys live in Australia, there are so many places you can get BYS, mainly like Kmart, Cosmetic Capital, I think they sell them still, and obviously you can definitely check their website online as well. BYS is also available in other places around the world as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys would like to see more of me, definitely check out the description box down below. I'll have other videos that I recommend you guys watching, very similar sort of vibe to what I have on my eyes at the moment. And if you guys haven't checked me out on Instagram, definitely check me out at MrKenDenis. And yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.